So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my art GCSE, including the coursework and the exam. I did art GCSE, which is basically international GCSE, 2 years ago. I loved watching these kind of videos because I was inspired how to spice up the coursework. So basically that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I know art GCSE isn't as hard as A-level art or IB art or even university art, but I still feel very proud that I've gone through it and that I did my best and that I don't have to do it ever again. The theme was a dream or something along those lines. So basically I decided to pick a dream of Alice in Wonderland and I designed a dress. So the first page looks like this, and this is basically a part of the investigation. This is actually me and this is also me, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I see a reflection that's all fairy tale like, and I actually painted this before I decided on the theme, but I thought it'd be quite interesting to incorporate it into the coursework. I named it Through the Looking Glass. I also put some playing cards in the background. There's a red rose right here and a white rose right here. So I put some dried sunflowers in the background here and also some dried rose petals all around the page. And yeah, that's the first page. So the second page is also a part of the investigation. So I have loads of motifs and different things from the story, such as a cup or a caterpillar. Then this is a pencil drawing of a watch. Then a watercolor painting of the Drink Me potion. Then I have some acrylic rabbit right here with some, what is it called, crayon bow. And there's another rose right here, a flamingo, and an ink painting of a key. And this is my favorite part. It's a watercolor painting of a baby and a pig, which kind of represents when the baby turns into a pig. And yeah, I really like this because it's kind of creepy but cute at the same time. I don't know if you can see this, but I made the background look like a hole which Alice falls into, and there's also some quotes in the background, such as "we are all met here," or what else, "up with their heads." Then the third page, oh my god. So the third page is dedicated to two designers, Alexander McQueen and Ellie Saab. So here I put the analysis of the dresses. To spice up the background, I mod poshed. Can you even say mod poshed? But basically I glued some book pages onto the background. This was very unnecessary, but around the analysis I put some 3D lace. These headings were a pain in the ass. These are actual leaves. I don't know why I thought it'd be cool to write on leaves, but let me tell you, it took like 4 days to dry down, and then it was so hard to actually write on it. So if you are planning to write on leaves, then I do not recommend it at all. So since I was designing a dress, I needed to develop some forms or some textures that I could incorporate into the dress. Here I was inspired by the caterpillar, so I made some zigzags from paper, and then I also made a collage that looks like a caterpillar. Then here, for example, I molded some paper into a rose, and then I also cut out these frills out of paper and combined them together to create a rose. I don't know if you can see that actually. To create a rose with those frills, and this was inspired by the caterpillar's legs. Right here I have some descriptions, and all over the page there are different designs of potential dresses. And to make it more interesting, which is also very unnecessary, I covered the mannequins with some wool. I wanted everything to be kind of 3D, so you can like touch it, observe. So in the next page of development, I was inspired by the texture on the cup. Also, I have some texture of a flamingo. I combined the swirls with the texture to create these patterns. And again, I have a bunch of mannequins showing the potential dresses. So this is the third page of development, where I was mainly inspired by the roses. So I have some paper roses right here, and also some petals. So again, I was inspired by the cup and the roses on the cup to create the pattern. Then I actually went even further and tried the pattern on some fabric. So I used acrylics, I think, on this. I think it's filled with some cotton or something. I also put some fabric rose petal right here, which could be interesting for the design. I actually quite struggled with putting everything together because I felt like every single page was overcrowded and was very hectic, so this was the best I could do. Come on to the final outcome. I love this page so much. At the top I have a title, Final Outcome, which is actually the same tag as in the Drink Me potion. Then I have a bow right here, which is actually a sample of the fabric that I used for the actual dress. And here I have the design from the front and then from the back, which shows a bow. And I have something about the bodice, then the sleeves and the skirt. Then at the bottom I have a sample of the roses that I used for the bodice, and also a sample of the fabric that I used for the sleeves. The reason why I love this page so much is probably the background, actually. So on the very, very last page, oh my god, I have photos of the dress that I designed. It looks very messy, honestly. Do you know how there's the Cheshire cat and the trees look kind of like gloomy and mysterious? I thought it'd be interesting to make the swirls of the tree out of some glue, and I thought it was cool, but honestly it just looks horrible. So this is the skirt, which is supposed to look like a cup, at least I hope so. There's quite a lot of wires in the dress to make the shape and everything. I painted the dress with some acrylic paint. The bodice looks like this. You're supposed to wrap it around the body and it's like a corset at the back. So basically that's a heart made out of roses, and then the rest of the bodice actually has these swirls and everything, which are made out of hot glue. Actually it doesn't look that good in real life, but in the photos I just arranged it so it looked better than it actually is. And lastly, there's these pathetic sleeves, oh my god, which are basically the, you know, the caterpillar legs combined with the rose. So that was the coursework, and now I'm gonna share with you the exam. So the theme that I picked was trash or treasure. So basically I was painting all these vintage items that could be considered either trash or treasure. So this is the first page. I have a bunch of photographs of vintage things that I found at my grandma's house. So I printed out the photographs on brown paper, and then I took some coffee and I made them look even more rusty, and then I actually took some nail polish and painted all over them to make them look shiny. I found this at my great grandmother's, and I think it's a vase or something, but basically I painted this with some watercolors, and then in the background there's some spritz of orange ink. So here I painted a coffee grinder with some acrylics. I also stuck some lace in the background to make it a bit more vintage looking. So this is the second page. Again, I have some vintage items right here. So there's a necklace that I drew with some white pencil. Then there's a candle in the middle, which I painted with ink. I also included two pencil drawings. One is of a pepper grinder, and then this is my flute. I dripped some candle wax onto the paper, so this is the candle wax, which actually looks quite disgusting, but no. And again, I included a lot of photographs that I took. Yeah, that's it for this page. So then it was time for me to put everything together. Here I have a lot of sketches of the different still lifes that I could use for the final painting. So if you're doing art, this is actually a very good thing to have, to include some sketches of the possible outcomes and then annotate them with what form you would use, or if you would paint it with watercolors or acrylics. You can see this is the sketch, and then here I tried to actually paint the whole thing. And then on the next page, again, I have some development ideas on what forms I could use or what techniques. So for example, for the doll, I included some ink painting and then some watercolors. Then I have another trial of the outcome right here. For the actual final painting, the final exam, I chose the second trial that I showed you. So this is it. Honestly, when I started, I was very worried that I wouldn't make the face look right, but actually it was quite okay. The dress took me ages to do, and then I don't know, the hat doesn't look right in my opinion. Then oh my god, I was struggling with this vase for so long, and then I only had like 30 minutes to finish the candle, so I rushed this a lot. But yeah, it doesn't look the best, but considering that I only had 30 minutes, I think that's quite good. So if you've also done your Art GCSE, then please let me know how it went and what topics you chose, because I don't know, I find it very interesting. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.